talk about the quarterback, Brock Purdy, who has a lot of very bad nicknames going around right now. He's new. People are trying to come up with a nickname, and people aren't creative at all. They have these really, I'm not even going to say them because they're like rated R, and they're not creative, so I don't want to say them. But what's crazy to me is you got a great nickname like the Purdman just waiting, hanging out there. I mean, that leads to Purdman Jr. There's so many things you could do. But I'm just throwing that. Let's talk about the Purdman. It was a very interesting performance in the sense that he won in Seattle. Anytime a Niners quarterback wins in Seattle, it's a huge deal. And how did he do it? I mean, the touchdown throw to George Kittle in the second half was amazing. Not that it was like, I mean, the guy was wide open, but it was the fourth read on the play. And what I think everyone is seeing with Brock Purdy is that he is very calm and patient on the field, especially in comparison to Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo, when his first read isn't open, he starts dancing. He's dancing on the field. You can see him doing the happy feet. He does the happy dance. Although he's not happy, it's anxiety. And you can feel the anxiety dripping off him if the first read isn't open. That's not the case with Brock Purdy. I mean, physically, their arms are kind of similar. Even Jimmy probably has a little bit more oomph on his arms, in his arm. But Purdy is more poised, calm, mature than Jimmy. Purdy, 23 years old. Jimmy, 31. Purdy's the one who plays like a vet. I asked Kyle Shanahan after the game if Purdy's the most mature rookie he's ever seen. He says he's the most poised rookie he's ever had. And he had Nick Bosa, who was pretty poised. So, yeah, a lot of reasons to be impressed by Brock Purdy. With the game on the line, he scrambles for a first down and extends the ball past. He has the situational awareness. Well, first of all, he has the quickness to get there, the situational awareness to extend the ball past the first down marker, and the situational awareness to freaking slide in bounds. Jimmy couldn't make the run. Jimmy does not have situational awareness. That's a play Jimmy couldn't make in a million years. So while physically they're kind of similar, Brock's better. He's better. And the Niners, if you didn't believe it after a couple of weeks ago, their Super Bowl odds have gotten better that Brock Purdy's the quarterback. That being said, I'm not ready to say he's the franchise quarterback of the team yet. That, like, hey, he beat Tom Brady, he beat the Seahawks. Forget Trey Lance. Is Brock's team for the next 10 years. I wouldn't say that. What he did was very impressive tonight, considering it's his second career start. It's Seattle. He had a messed up rib. No Deebo Samuel. A lot of context to add. That being said, look, if Jimmy threw that ball that Brock threw that was almost picked off and returned for a touchdown, we'd be very hard on Jimmy Garoppolo. And it's not because of his experience or his age or his money, his salary. It's because the Niners are a Super Bowl ready team and you can't have quarterbacks making those mistakes. So Brock made a Jimmy mistake today where he tried to force the ball over the middle, threw a 15-yard pass on 3rd and 11. He does not have the arm to pull that off. Patrick Mahomes does. Josh Allen does. Trey Lance does. Brock Purdy does not. And if he's going to try to make those throws on 3rd and long, those intermediate throws between defenders, he's going to get in trouble. You saw it when he tried to throw outside the numbers to Ayuk on those comeback routes. The ball sunk and died. Now, maybe that's because he's got a rib thing. Or maybe it's because he was the last pick in the draft and physically he's not comparable to people who go higher up. So I'm curious to see, as time goes on, will defenses force him into this, throwing these passes that are not his forte. Still, though, I like watching him play. He's a great story. But I think we got to make sure we don't take it one step too far and be like, hey, man, this is the guy. He's Drew Brees and Russell Wilson in one. I mean, he's definitely more patient, more calm, more confident, more mature than Jimmy Garoppolo. But physically, in terms of their arms, similar. And that's all I want to say. I'm not ready to say that this physically limited quarterback is the guy the Niners need to go with forever. Like, what he has is experience, which is great, but it's something anyone can get if they play enough. He played a lot in college. Imagine Trey Lance if he had played 4 years at Iowa State. Eventually, Trey Lance is going to get playing experience, and he's going to improve. Only question, is that going to happen here or somewhere else? And I don't think you've seen enough from Brock Purdy to be like, you know what, Trey, goodbye. And I think they know that. That being said, The Kyle Shanahan and the Niners, they don't strike me as the kind of team that's going to be like, hey, we got to go with Trey Lance because we gave up picks for him. Sorry, Brock, it doesn't matter what you do. I think this is an open competition, and they would be more than happy to make Brock Purdy the starting quarterback if he proves it. But I think everyone recognizes that although it's a good story, he's got more to prove. And we saw today against a bad defense, some issues crop up. And this is what happens with young quarterbacks, especially ones on good teams that have hot starts.